Hey neighbours, today's video we're going to be taking a look at the Chomper abilities. Hey everyone, Gameaholik here, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the Chomper abilities in closer detail. So if you are a fan of the PvZ franchise, then please do consider liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing, as that is the game that I do cover on this channel. So the Chomper has three abilities. He has a Spikeweed, which has changed from previous games. He has Burrow, which is pretty much the same as previous games apart from one small tweak. Then he has a Goop, which is a bit of a mouthful to say. That is slightly different from previous games. So the differences between GW2 and today's version, which is in Battle for Neighborville, there are a few things that have actually changed. So you still have a bite as your primary weapon, but now we have a secondary weapon, which if you hold down LT on an Xbox remote, I don't know what it is on other platforms, and then you press RT, you do a spit, which seems to not have any cooldown whatsoever. We'll get a little bit into more detail when we go into Giddy Park to see what kind of damage output that is, but they are the primary weapons. Still get your chompy chomps. Okay, so we'll take a look at the first one, which is the Spikeweed. It's now a projectile Spikeweed, so you don't drop it behind you like you used to do. You now aim it out. It comes out like a little ball and then it goes into Spikeweed, and it works in the same way that it did in previous games. If an enemy walks into it, they get trapped and they take damage as well. Burrow is also pretty much a standard. You have a certain duration of time. Once underneath a character, there should be a red chomp circle, and you should be able to chomp your opponent and swallow. There is some ongoing work with that, as a lot of the community are complaining that sometimes the chomp doesn't work. And finally we have the Groupie Gloop, which is a like stink cloud. This actually immobilizes the enemy's abilities, so when they're inside this they cannot use their abilities. Again, sometimes this can be a little bit misfunctioning. It doesn't quite work sometimes for some people, as I've had people in the cloud and they've still been able to pull off their abilities. There are some upgrades as well where you can actually revive quicker in that gloop, and I'm not sure if there's any extra damage output when standing in it. Further testing would be needed. Right, we'll see if we can snare this or any of the little TV head zombies. Hopefully one will walk into it right now. We're getting completely bombarded. Come on, walk into the little Spikeweed. These zombies are meant to be dumb. There we go. It's actually insta-killed it. Insta-killed me too. Normally if the characters were strong enough it would actually just snare them. It's going to make me shoot up in the air. Yeah, I thought so. Okay, so as you see, it does give some damage as well. We've got 35. It looks like it's going to damage. Wow, look at that. That spread out a little bit. It must have been a little bit stuck on me as well, which is quite interesting. So we'll do the final Burrow. We'll get into it. And as you can see, there's the chomp. And we get into a chomp. And we swallow. Be wary when on a Burrow though, because obviously you are going to be prone to attacks because it slows you down. You are very much vulnerable once that initial Burrow comes into play and you are waiting to fully swallow. So again, we'll just show you here. Look, we're into the state. We're getting shot and we are moving really slow. I have the hot rod on here so at the moment, so I do move a little bit faster, but you would actually go slower in a normal state. Right, let's see if we can get this guy here and I can demonstrate. This is what we was talking about. See how I was able to jump away from my Burrow that should have triggered twice and didn't. You cannot swallow a space station, so that's a good example there. So if you see a space station, you might as well just get out of there, get out of dodge, as they say. Let me see if it's possible here. No, he's managed to jump out of the way. The other thing as well that a lot of people are complaining about, I managed to catch it there, but a lot of people complain about the fact that the opposition can run away quite easily compared to previous versions. But the thing is, there isn't really much of a defense like there used to be in Garden Warfare 2. So you used to be able to put dummy shields down and that would block the paths and things like that. Well, it doesn't work like that anymore. The only thing that can really stop a Chomper nowadays is the engineer with his stun. Okay, the final thing I'm going to mention, and again, we probably get battered while I'm demonstrating this, but before you used to be able to stand behind a character or an enemy and you used to be able to swallow that way instead of having to burrow. That mechanic is now gone. There is no such thing. It is literally either chomp or bite them, and it is the projectile. The one way you would stand behind them and swallow them has gone, unfortunately. You cannot do that anymore. And there we go with another chomp. See, I am now completely defenseless. I'm going to get attacked pretty much. The best thing to do here is get that ability out. We're going to chomp away and see if we can destroy it. Yes, we did. There is a good example of the new way of taking out the enemy rather than having to chomp them from the back and swallow them that way. Okay, so that has been the Chomper abilities. If I have missed anything out, then please do inform me in the comment section. If there is any further questions about the Chomper abilities, then also leave a comment or a note in the leave a comment or a note in the comment section. And I'll be back very soon with more ability showcases for the rest of the characters in Battle for Neighborville. Hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have, and do please consider liking, sharing, commenting and subscribing. Thanks everyone for watching. Have a great rest of your day, neighbours, and take care.